Good morning. Today is Tuesday and January 28th, 2025. And the time is closer to 11 a.m. in the morning, US Eastern Time. So, yesterday was fun. My daughter and I, if you have seen the videos from yesterday, you'll see my daughter and I, we had fun. We call it a bucket filler day. We do this once in a while. We're planning to do it once a month now because I love to travel and do adventurous things. Probably not things like skydiving, not my thing, but different kind of adventures. And my daughter, she's also like me in some ways. So we went and had sushi. That was fun. And where we went, we could drive. Also, we could go in a metro, and she wanted to go in the metro. That's what she decided because she hasn't, I think only a few times she rode the metro, so she wanted to do that. So we did that. That was fun. And yeah, we had some fun chats while in the metro. I remember yesterday she was like, I had lots of other discussion, but these are the things that sometime when we really stay in the present moment and go deep in the conversation with people at different ages, and it can be with your kids, it can be with somebody else or whatever. You'll know what I mean when I share the story. So the way people look at life or different things, it just blows your mind in a different way, and then it makes you think that it's just so different, and the perspectives can be so different and interesting. So anyway, so what happened is we were talking, somehow the car discussion came up, and I am not a big car person. So the car I drive is some Japanese car. It's halfway. It's not expensive, it's not bad, it's like in the middle. Anyway, so I'm not a big car person. So somehow some car discussion came up. Oh, now I remember how it came up. I think we saw as the train was going. I think we saw those Elon Musk. What is it called? Cybertruck. And if you're a big fan of Cybertruck, I'm sorry, but I just don't like them. I think they are ugly looking. Sorry. Um, so my daughter Alice, she was saying the same thing. She doesn't like them and stuff like that. So anyway, so I randomly asked her this question that, okay, what's your favorite car? So she says Toyota. I never owned a Toyota. So I was curious how she thought of Toyota. I'm like, oh, okay. And then she's like, no, 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 actually, I like Lamborghini. I'm like, oh, that's an expensive car. And how did she, because I'm not into cars or anything. And her dad is also not into cars and expensive cars or anything. So then I asked her the question like, oh, why do you like Lamborghini? She's like, the name sounds funny. And that just made me laugh because she liked Lamborghini because the name sounded funny to her. And people at our age in the midlife, if you ask somebody, if somebody says they like Lamborghini, the reason they would like it is because it's an expensive car, brand, whatnot. So it just makes you think sometimes why people at different age, with different experience, different generations, how they could look at the same exact thing and they may like it or dislike it based on their own story, right? So that was really funny. So anyway, I just thought I'd share. It made me laugh. I'm like, oh, okay, she likes Lamborghini because that sounds funny. So we had a lot of amazing fun times together. It was a long time we spent together. You guys saw some little clips. I picked a little clips for the channel, and yeah, because I when I worked for 20, 21 years in the corporate world, there were times that um, I would rather spend with her. My daughter, she's going to be 9 years old next month, but I couldn't because of my schedule. Work was very busy, sometimes 24/7, and I don't regret any of it. It's just life is the way it's supposed to be. All of those were part of um, the experience that I had to get through to be in this moment right now, right here. um, I accept all of it. And then the part that I learned from that is that, because I always think of any experience can have a positive seed with it, we just have to look for it, that I realized that I need to prioritize that more, so because my life is not over and I don't want to regret in my deathbed. So I want to spend more time with her. I want to prioritize it. Tony Robbins says one interesting thing, that if it is not in your schedule, you're not doing it, no matter what that is, your goal or something that makes you happy. So you have to put it in your schedule. And that's why, and I'm a very schedule oriented, organized, whatever you want to call it, as I'm that type of a person, that type of personality. Some of my friends sometimes joke about that, and that's all right. I am who I am. I embrace it. so so I figured that we're going to do once a month. It may not be the same day or same weekend or weekday, whatever, but we'll do it, because we got to prioritize it. And the memories that we create is, it's amazing. A friend of mine said it very nice way. He said that you are filling her bucket with good memories, and I thought that was amazing. To amazing way to put it in words. That makes me happy. Makes me happy. What makes you happy? Those little things. Are there little things that makes you happy, that fills your bucket, the happiness bucket? Right? We need to have our bucket full to give it to others, either your family, friends, coworker, all the rest of our life in other areas. We enjoy more when we do these things. Like, I'll tell you, so this is one of the in my 1-day challenge I have shared a couple of weeks ago. And a lot of this that I share, I actually do personally do it too, because they do help. So one of the video was that I said, to anchor yourself the present moment, you can just use one senses. We have 5 senses: sight, smell, all of those. So you can just focus on one of your senses to focus on things. Like today, this morning, for me, since I've been practicing it for a while, it has become automatic. Different time I do different things to focus on the present moment, to anchor myself to where I am. So this morning I was focusing on the blue color. So this is one of the things I covered in my 1-day challenge. So I'm in the bathroom. I noticed the blue color of the mouthwash. And I'm in the kitchen. I noticed the blue color of the dish detergent. Also, my daughter's the vitamin, the bottle, the cap is blue. And here my water bottle is blue color. And there's a few other blue color things that I noticed in the room. And same thing when I was in the kitchen, I was filling my water bottle, and I was noticing the other blue things in the room, like a balloon. My daughter had a balloon in her play area. So things like that, the very simple things. And I share these things because so today the message that I wanted to focus on is, there are a lot of things going on, especially in the United States right now. After the election, a lot of changes happening, and changes are happening very rapidly. And depending on, how people look at things, some are happy, some are very unhappy, and some are, halfway, somewhere in the middle. So a friend of mine and we were discussing that, I think last week or something, that the outside world, there will always be things that will be happening, but the part where we have the power and control is our inner voice. And there are two inner voices that are always there in our mind. One is the critic, the subconscious, and another can be the conscious, who is your best cheerleader, your best coach ever. You have worked to it because they're 24/7. You can let this one speak or you can let this one speak. The choice is yours. And with practice over and over and over, this voice gets louder. The coach, the best coach, and the best cheerleader gets louder. So these things will keep happening. The world will have things happening all the time. What happens is what we focus on magnifies. There could be little problem, but then if we're focusing on the little problem, it magnifies. You know how that works with our life, right? And if you do the little things, it magnifies too. Like yesterday, for example, my daughter and I, it was a very simple bucket filler day. We went to a mall. It's a little further from here. We generally don't go there, so it was a fun thing, different thing. And there's a sushi place on that conveyor belt. You guys saw. I had a short there, and YouTube shorts that is there from yesterday. If you're interested, and if you haven't checked it out, you can check it out. Anyway, so enjoying that moment, and we also walked around in the mall and did some more stuff, which I didn't capture for the channel. But the point is, of course, I wanted to live in the present moment and be there, but wanted to share some with you guys, so glimpse of this. So I did. So that's what I was focusing on, and that magnified. And this morning, believe it or not, so my daughter, she gave me this glow stick. Okay. I told her that some of you guys commented on our video, and she got excited. And thank you for commenting, and I appreciate it very much. And she said, "Oh, show this glow stick and say that I gave it to you." So I thought I'll do that. She gave me this glow stick, glow in the dark. The kids play with this. If you're not familiar or haven't seen, the glow in the dark, and she likes it. Kids, little things makes them happy. So she had a bunch of this. So she gave me one for me to share this on my channel, and said that she gave it to me. So it's up to us what we give voice to, the inner critic or the best cheerleader. And that's how our life is going to be formed. And there could be times, some days, you cannot quiet the critic, and it is okay. As long as the critic is not taking over day after day after day, you'll be okay. But if it is taking over, that's when sometimes we need outside help. But with practice over and over and over, you can be your best cheerleader, because that's how I think the goal should be in our life. Because you can work with a coach or a mentor, but you cannot work with a coach or a mentor all your life. Then you are depending on a coach or a mentor to run your life. Then sometimes the originality or the uniqueness, we all have some sort of uniqueness that you don't want to blend it so much with somebody's uniqueness that your own unique gift or the beauty or whatever you call it, that kind of dilutes so much that the version of you, the 8 billion people, all the stories in this world, 8 billion people, is worth sharing. And that's what I always encourage, because all of us have this amazing, unique journey. Everybody's life can be so interesting, how they how they have overcome their challenges. Everybody has challenges, right? We all get knocked down by different things at different phases of our life, and we all figure out ways, tools, and techniques that work for us. And some of the tools and techniques can be so unusual that you never know that what you have gone through that could help thousands of more people. You never know. So, having that mindset that your story, your unique story, can inspire many. I remember when I started this channel in the beginning, there were some um, comments on the channel and some videos. I can't remember which one because now I have like 661 or something as of yesterday. um, that people are commenting about things that that was very personal, and I think the person was from UK, if I remember, and very personal. And you never know how some of those could help other people, because every story is so unique, and that can inspire others to get the voice to that best cheerleader, right? That's what ultimately is very important. Because that is the one, that is the key that can eventually help you to love your life. Because when you love your life like just the way it is, and that's the beauty, that's the magic, that when you love the life just the way it is, all the things that you always wanted to attract, that will get attracted. The funny thing is that we want to go from point A to point B and manifest all of these things, but without focusing on, chasing. If you become this version, which is like you love yourself so much that all of the things that just automatically gets attracted. So it's not about chasing, it's about attracting. And it's not about just attracting the person that you want in life. It's all the experiences in your life, your day-to-day experiences, the perfect, I don't know, workplace or job, or the person who you want to be with, or your, I don't know, like, the physical and emotional health, whatever that is, right? So you love yourself just like the way it is, with all the flaws, everything, because nobody's perfect. And that is when the magic happens. You start attracting things that you never thought as possible. But to get there, you have to do this habit thing, right? So there's this saying, I forgot who said it. We first have to build a habit, and then the habit builds us. We first have to build a habit, and then the habit builds us. So initially, we have to be conscious about building that good habit. Keep doing it for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. And somewhere in that period, the magic happens. And for some, it may take 3 months. For some, it may take up to 12 months. You just never know. But you just have to keep going, and then the magic happens somewhere in that journey, that you start loving your life. And that's what I, you guys know that I'm talking about the coaching on the channel. On my YouTube homepage, you'll find that I'm coaching some of my clients offline, and from the I would say they have recovered their divorce journey, and now in a journey to to the next step of their life. And it just makes me so happy. I'm like, oh, sorry, probably made sound. I'm so happy for them. So it's amazing to love your own life, and also it's amazing to see when somebody starts loving their own life. It can bring so much joy. And I did not understand it actually until I saw this. There's a Stanford professor. I saved that TED Talk. It's one of the most wonderful TED Talk I think I ever listened to, and I have listened to, I'll tell you, I don't know, over 200 TED Talks, maybe 300, 400, I don't know how many, because it's been years that I would play the TED Talk, and I would cook in the kitchen on the weekend, because I would cook food for the whole week. Also, sometime on the weekend in the afternoon, I would just play TED Talk, because I just love good public speaking and the tips and stuff, also because I have been a Toastmasters for 10, 12 years. So this is my thing. I love learning about good communication skills and intellectual conversation, and when people talk about um, things about how you can improve your emotional intelligence and all of that. So that's just, I find it very, attracted, like like I would say, it's the chasing your track. So those are the things that attracts me. Anyway, so I listened to, so going back to that, the story, the one person, some other day I'll share his name. I forgot his name. So he is a Stanford professor. He talked about how we feel good when we are part of somebody else's big story. What I mean by that is, so for me, it really resonated because as I'm helping these clients of mine, as I see them grow, as I see them feel happier than before, and that is a story in itself. And it makes me happy because I get to play a tiny part in their, that happiness journey, who they are becoming, like point A to point B, who they are becoming, that I get to play a little part. And that makes me, so happy. So of course, I knew that I loved it. And sometimes you just don't know, like, why, like, why you would be so happy for something like that. So when I heard that TED talk, I was like, oh, I get it. That's and some of it is with the personality, like, what type of thing really, takes you. For me, that is a thing. And that's why I think in the last 10, 12 years, I have tried other kind of businesses, startups, including 2 other YouTube channels. This is my 3rd YouTube channel. I think it was 5 years ago. One YouTube channel was about leadership, and another was about dating tips. It really helped a lot of people. There were comments and stuff that people were following, and it helped them. And I kind of played a matchmaker for a friend who was 2010, 2011. They're still married happily, which is awesome. So anyway, when the timing is right, I would share more about those, here in this channel, about tips and stuff. But right now, this journey, it's amazing. And thank you for coming and watching the videos. Oh, this is cool too. So yesterday, my daughter and I kind of bounce around topics. So we thought, oh, it was Monday, so we have to give that a name, and she's very good at naming things. So I'm like, what should we call it? So we came up with this Majestic Monday. She wanted to call it Majestic Monday. And if we do something on Friday, it's going to be Fabulous Friday. And if it's Tuesday, it's going to be Terrific Tuesday. So those are fun with my little daughter, how they can get excited about little things. Sometimes with big people, we got to do that. We got to get excited about little things, which these days I think I do. It was interesting that when I made the grocery store video, I didn't think that so many people would really find that so amusing, but looks like they did. And believe it or not, this week, because YouTube sends this reports to the content creators for free. So this week I had the most likes, most comments, and most shares, which was very, very awesome, because there was like 14 shares, I think, because all the subscribers in this channel, and thank you all. It's like organic, meaning people sharing it with each other or something. So since I started this channel, every week people shared, but it was not in that scale. But last week was like 14 shares, so it's like makes me super happy. So if you guys have somebody who is recently got divorced, or they have got divorced in the past and still in that recovery journey, and you think any of these videos might help, share it with them. And my videos are captured where I was and where I am now. it's all about um, painful state and peaceful state. Our life, dwells between these two, but less we spend the time here, more we spend the time here, is what makes it more worth living. Because things will keep happening. How we react to it, how we respond to it is important, especially in the United States. If you are in one of those groups where you are feeling sad and you don't know what's happening, and it's all out of control, that does not have to define your day to day. Your inner voice, you can quiet this, and of course you want to see what's going on, but you want to have your best cheerleader. What can you do today so that doesn't affect you, your day to day, the plans that you have, what you want to do? You know, that is what can bring you peace on a day to day basis. If you it's about the outside of the circle. So the circle is where your life is, and then outside of the circle, what's happening, it's not on our control. And then if we try to control that, that's when the worry, and pain, sadness, all of this happens, anger, all of this happens. So know what's happening outside of that circle, but don't bring it inside the circle. Tell your the best cheerleader to keep it outside. It's possible. And if you need help, reach out for some help, whoever that help is for you. If it is me, I have my contact on the YouTube channel. Excuse me, that was bad. I had a burp. So I keep these videos raw, as you guys know. Normally I would cut it, but I purposely I don't know why I kept it. I decided to keep them very raw. 5 years ago, when I had 2 other channels, I used to make them I would cut the videos and stitch them together and all of that. For some reason, I just wanted this to be very raw, because you never know. It could become somebody's survival guide someday. So I just wanted to keep it very real. I have been through many things in life. Some I shared so far, and there are many more that I will share as time goes by, when it feels right to share those stories from my life. Because when you are in your 40s, there's a lot that you go through in life, and I'm pretty sure you guys do too. You have so many experiences, life experiences, how you picked yourself up from the biggest setbacks that you had in life. And sometimes you probably had help, and sometimes you didn't, but you figured out ways how to get out of that and keep going, and live life the way that is still meaningful, still worth it. And so share your experiences with people you meet, and especially the new people you meet, because that's how, when we are vulnerable, when we share our stories, we create a stronger connection, we create deeper connection. And it was interesting. I was actually listening to a short video on Instagram. Mel Robbins, I don't know if you guys know her. Mel Robbins was getting interviewed by Jay Shetty. It was only like a 1 or 2 minutes video, and how she was talking about when we are kids under 20 versus after 20, how building friends are very different, because the laws are different. Because when you're at school, all the kids are the same age, you're doing the same things, but after that, a lot of it is to do with people are doing different things, and the physical proximity. She talks about, there's some research where, that was mind-blowing to me. There's some research, and she didn't have the percentage, and she talked about where she gave an example. She was like saying to Jay Shetty that if you're in a dorm room, and if you're right next to her room, the chances of them being friends is about like 90%, and another person who'd be like further out on the dorm, at the end would be 10% of for them to be friends, the chances. There's some research like that. And she's like, even 50 feet makes a difference, the proximity and how the friendship is going to be. So all of the numbers she didn't have, but she was like talking about that research, and I was like, I was mind blown, and it kind of totally makes sense. And she's like, what happens is at 20s or after, the physical proximity, I mean, discounting the fact that these days a lot of things are virtual, people spend most of the time with their coworkers. And the coworkers are in different stages of their life because of their age and family situation or whatnot, and that's how the strong friendship bonds don't get connected. And then in my head I was like, that makes sense why people in 20s, 30s, 40s or beyond, people crave for the community aspect, because it's almost like trying to find that connection that we all had automatically when we were kids, and that was not any extra effort, that just happened, right? So I thought it was really, really interesting. So I thought I'll share it here, because the physical proximity, as you all probably know too, if you had some close friends earlier in your life, and now if you have friends, if you have some close friends locally, they're probably much closer to you than somebody who used to be your best friend, but maybe they moved away or you moved away from them because of your job or whatever. Now you are not that close anymore. So the physical proximity thing is very real. And I think if we go deep, the reason I can understand why, because I'm big into digging deep into this stuff and human behavior and senses and whatnot. When you have physical proximity, you are sensing the same things. Let's say if you go out together to a coffee shop to have some coffee and share a chat, or you are out at a restaurant to eat dinner together, a group of friends or just two of you, you are sharing the same, the smell and the sound that you hear and the taste, a lot of it is same. So you are sharing the similar experience. Not only that, later on sometime you're talking about that, so you are reliving those, which is harder to do when you are not in a, you don't have the physical proximity with the people you're friends with, because they're far away, and those become less and less and less, the things that you have shared together, right? So yeah, I thought it just made me keep thinking in that line, and I thought it was a very interesting concept. So who are the people in your life that you have in your physical proximity who you could be friends with? And I talk about my mastermind group, create a mastermind, or you can call it like a friends community, whatever that is, because community helps us grow and feel better and be in that, peaceful or happy zone so much more than we alone can do. And I'm so grateful that I have several different communities and very good friends who care for me and I care for them. And it just makes life more magical. Okay, so I think with this I'm going to finish the video. I might do some shorts today. This afternoon I'm going to meet with a friend, and she also does her own business, so we're going to be talking about some business stuff and learn from each other. So I'm excited about that. And either before or after I might do some short videos. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys later, and tomorrow morning I'll be back. Take care. Bye. Enjoy life.